What is going on, guys? It's Topherdeluxe, back like what's over your butts, and I have found a ghost in the library. Um, this is going to be a video where I basically am going over my thoughts and ideas and things about the Bungie update that happened today, yesterday, something like that, as well as share with you guys a little bit of, well, other than my opinion, also a spot that I found that I enjoy killing people. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. It's not farming like it used to be, but it's a little bit more actively farming, and it's still fun. So I just realized there was another floor that I didn't go to on that library. But anyway, so I went to Venus, and I was like, I'm going to farm. I picked up a Queen's Bounty for headshots, and I was going to come here and try and get some headshots on some Fallen. I went to the normal spot, the spot I made a video about the other day, and the spawns were so freaking slow. It took forever for me to try and actually accumulate any kind of headshots. I sat there for like 5 or 10 minutes and only got like maybe 5 waves of people come out of it. It was very disappointing. Not to mention these other guys kept coming in and screwing up the spawns, but that's besides the point. So the patch notes, I've got them pulled up here on the computer, and I'm going to kind of briefly go through them for you. The loot is basically, the Cryptarch has really been dropping the ball. He has been given more blues than he should have. He should have been, you know, people trading in legendaries. I know I don't think I have ever gotten a legendary out of a legendary Ingram from him. I'm pretty sure every single time I've given him a legendary Ingram, it has come back a blue. They're going to change that. It was something about the randomness, accidentally screwed up, and didn't quite have the right ratio to better or worse. It all just ended up worse. So you can see me if you're watching on the screen. I'm just kind of bouncing around killing these guys. I get into a rhythm and I find a way to do it here in just a minute, but we'll get back to that in just a second. So the cave has been nerfed. It's got like a minute or so between each round or each wave, which is probably the same thing I was experiencing at the spawn that I went to for headshots. And something about people getting recognized or celebrated because of their achievements. There was no real big thing in the post-game screen for congratulations, you did something awesome. So they're trying to bring in voice communications. I tried to do this the other day. I was playing and I was in a fire team, but it was a match-made fire team. It wasn't a one with my friends. I put a mic on and see if they could see me, and it showed a little mic down in the corner like I was talking and making noise, but no one ever acknowledged anything, and it might just be because I'm annoying or something. So this hole that I'm in on the screen right here, this is where those guys are going to spawn that I'm going to kill. And I realize there's a clash going on here between the Vex and the Fallen, and that's the same situation kind of that's happened at the old cave. There was a clash going on, and you just basically killed one side as they tried to run out because they were automated to come out. Now you see, I kind of had good luck right here. Right as soon as I get onto it, I get a swarm of them coming out, more than I can handle with my 11 shots. And there's a captain. But you'll find out later there's more than one spot, and I'll get back to that in just a second. So I'm going to try and hurry up and get through these things so you guys can understand a little bit about them. Strikes. They were just a little too unbalanced, making them a little bit more difficult than they should be. They're balancing the weapons in the PvP. I think the exotic weapons are going to get a couple of them are going to get a buff. The auto rifles are going to get a nerf for long range. The scout rifles are going to get a buff for long range. They're not as powerful as they should be, and the shotguns are going to get a nerf for the range. Now, the biggest thing that I want to talk about is, as far as my opinion goes on this topic, is I think Destiny is doing a great job. Now, I know a lot of people are bitching and moaning because they're taking the easy way away. Basically, they're removing the easy way to get stuff. They're making it to where you have to work for it, where it's a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more grindy. And that is kind of sucky as a player to have to go through that, but at the same time, it is it's part of the game. You know, Borderlands had a really fucked up economy. If you think about it in the typical sense, if something like WoW or Diablo or something like that you could just duplicate your weapons all willy-nilly whenever you wanted to, and money was a non-issue. You could give people money all you wanted. You never needed any of it. Any legendary that any of your friends or your friends' friends had, you had because of duplication. Now, if you took Destiny's frame and put it on Borderlands, I would maybe have a quarter of the legendaries that I usually do. Now, what I'm doing on screen is I had to turn around and go over to that middle area and kill a couple of the bad guys over there. Now, what you'll notice this time is I'll shoot the ones that come out of this hole, and then immediately they'll come out of the other side. It's kind of almost like there's a constant supply of flood coming into the area, and there's 2 spots that they come into. I think there might even be 3, but there's one on this side and one on the other side. And what I was doing was I was shooting them on this side, and then here in a minute you'll see me kill all these guys, and then rotate around this ship that I'm hiding behind as soon as I get out of my menu, and you can see the flood of them coming out the other hole on the other side. So this would be great if you had two people. I had another guy in here, but he was farming for spirit blooms, I think, so he wasn't really helping me all that much. There are Vex that spawn in this area, so every now and then you'll have to turn around and kill a few Vex because they're overpopulating, but that's basically the biggest threat. Now, I kind of wish I had a little bit more footage. I might extend this a little bit because I'm kind of on a roll talking about this this update, and I haven't gotten a chance to really say everything that I want to say. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Just say it, man. I think that they're doing a good job on trying to keep the legendaries exciting and keep the exotics exhilarating. They're trying to make it so that the exotics, when you get an exotic, it's a big to-do. I mean, it's a big thing. It's exciting. Like they said, this is a 10-year game, and if right after the launch everybody's max level with the dopest gear that's available, then it's going to kind of lose its steam as the game develops and matures. So I think they did a good move on this part. If you look back, how do I put this? Borderlands had fun stuff to do anyways. It wasn't all about the gear and how... I mean, it was kind of about the gear, but it was more about strategy with skill trees and stuff like that. So it was a little bit different then. But I think that on this game, they're doing a pretty good job of trying to make sure that that there's a reward system. If you go through this big long quest and you get a legendary helmet, and you could easily go and farm a cave for an hour and get a legendary helmet, it doesn't seem like it's that rewarding. But if you have to work for a couple weeks to get a piece of legendary armor or a piece of exotic armor, then that becomes more rewarding. If you have, if you put the time and effort into it, you've grinded through it, and you've really earned that legendary, then it would be awesome. Now, I do think that it seems like there's a little bit of an imbalance between player to player drop rates. It seems like sometimes the drop rates are really, really high for my buddies and really, really low for me. Sometimes I'll be farming with one of my guys, like Candy. He's one of the guys I play with, and he can farm for 15 minutes and end up with 5 legendaries, it seems, and I could farm for an hour and maybe get 2. I finally finished that Queen's Bounty that I was doing. So it's kind of a catch-22 because you don't want to have everything be so easy that it ruins the value of everything. It's everything in a game like this is all about economy. Now, they've done well, in my opinion, they've done well by completely taking out the trading system. There's no trading system. You can't give something from one player to another as of right now. I don't know if they'll implement one later, but right now there's not. And I think that's a good decision. I think that's probably the best decision that they've made in this game, because that ruined, or didn't ruin, but that made Borderlands to where legendaries weren't all that awesome. I mean, yeah, they were good, but if you wanted a specific one, you had to go grind it yourself if you didn't know anybody that had it. But most people knew people that had weapons. So, you know, I had 4 Bs, or no, not Bs, but infinity pistols, and one of them I got myself, and that was it. And the other ones were ones that people dropped, and including the trick shot. You know, that's supposed to be, the trick shot infinity was supposed to be like the most rare gun, or the most rare type of infinity pistol, and we got one from a buddy of ours, and so there's 8 of us running around with it. It's supposed to be the most rare. Yeah, it kind of loses its glitz and glamour, it kind of fades into the normalcy, and I know that's what Destiny's trying to prevent. They're trying to prevent it from becoming, oh, you don't have legendary yet, and you're level 22, what's wrong with you? You know, it's going to change that. It's going to make it to where you have legendary because you earned it. You know, and it might be a little bit difficult right at first because the game's already launched and a lot of people have already gotten these legendary items, but eventually everything will round out. So what you're watching here at the end, or what you've been watching, is me going around with my legendary shot, or LMG that I got that is called something, I cannot remember the name, something gravity. It's a dead orbit LMG that I got. I really like it. It shreds through PvE. So that's it for today. Hit subscribe at the top of the screen and leave a like if you don't mind. A comment, let me know what you think about the update. And I'm off from this week. I've got a vacation, so I'm going to be doing an upload every single day. Maybe even a giveaway at the end of the week. Who knows? This is Topherdeluxe, and I'm out.